Initially, when Micromax announced their comeback, I thought this is just gonna lead to a lot of crappy phones. I gotta give it to Micromax. This is pretty unique. It might not be for everyone. No, you know what is not average with this phone? That's a big pro in my humble opinion. Carrier aggregation. Hello Samsung. The Micromax N1. Micromax's latest launch. Now I skipped out on the unboxing here because I actually wanted to spend some time with this phone and see if the strong on paper internals translated to real day-to-day use. Is there something that wasn't obvious from the spec sheet? Now, after over a week with the N1, this is what I have to say. Hey guys, Ash here, you're watching C4E Tech and welcome to my full review of the Micromax N1. So as always, let's start with the built-in design. For a brand that's generally not known for its originality, I gotta give it to Micromax. This is pretty unique. It might not be for everyone. Definitely, it's not going to be for everyone. But me personally, I like it the hollowish X pattern, the kind of light it reflects, the dual tone finish. Even the logo isn't very in your face. Yeah. Now, if you notice, there's a fingerprint scanner here. Because unlike a lot of other brands who've shifted to fingerprint scanners embedded in the power button, Micromax has still chosen to retain a rear-mounted fingerprint scanner. And I thought I was going to hate it. But turns out I didn't, because there are so many phones in the past that I've tested that have had rear-mounted fingerprint scanners that muscle memory kind of kicked in. And this is a fast and responsive scanner, so no issues with that. While on the topic of biometrics, we also get face unlock, which was quite instantaneous combined with lift to wake. So whenever I was not wearing a mask, that is basically what I was using. It's not just lift to wake, Micromax has a few such useful functions baked in. I found myself using the triple finger swipe up for split screen a lot. I really enjoyed using that. Now, one thing I didn't enjoy was the fact that this is Android 10. Yes, it's bare bones Android 10, but it's still Android 10 nonetheless. Now, I do love the fact that there are no ads and or bloat. That's a huge pro because these days, even brands, a tier 1 brand like Samsung, throws in ads into their budget phones. Hell, at times they even do that with their flagships. So to see no ads or bloat on a Micromax of all brands, that's just so refreshing. That said, I still think Micromax should have provided Android 11. That would have made this a much more complete phone. Micromax though is promising an April update to Android 11, but that. Even if they do manage to get an update out by May or June and it's not buggy AF, I'd say Micromax has done good. Okay, leave that. As of today, what kind of user experience do we get? If that were a question, I'd probably say I enjoyed this a little more than I probably should have. I went in with very low expectations because this is a Micromax phone. This is a sub 10K Micromax phone. But that clean software seems to have made a hell of a difference. I've used the same chip from other brands in the past, but this did not feel like that. I can safely say this is the best implementation of this chip and even the best Micromax phone I've ever used. Now, a large portion of our usage is interacting with the display on a phone. So how did the display fare? That's very important, right? On paper, it's LCD, it's 60 Hz, it's Full HD Plus, seems decent enough. With use, it was a little bit of a mixed bag for me. I found the colors a little too cool, and yes, Micromax does provide a slider to get the color balance, to fine tune the color balance, but I just could never, I never could seem to get it right. The rest of the display though, it was excellent, quite crisp, good viewing angles. It's bright enough for outdoor use. At 440 nits, it's slightly brighter than the competition. By the way, the camera that we saw for face unlock, that's present right here at the top in the centered hole punch. It's pretty unobtrusive. Given the segment, this is the best we could have expected. Now, other display specs, what else? The size is 6.67 inches, which is regulation Xiaomi Redmi Poco. So that kind of gives you an idea of which brand Micromax is looking to go after. The aspect ratio is 20:9, NTSC color gamut, it covers 82%, refresh 60 Hz as I said. It's covered by something that Micromax calls rainbow glass. I've never heard of it, so no clue how good it is. I'm guessing they're using some regular off-the-shelf tempered protection to cut costs, and they've got a fancy little marketing name for it. But anyway, at this price, you just can't complain, right? Circling back to that selfie camera, it's an 8 megapixel sensor, f2 lens. It's pretty standard, nothing special. It gets details and skin tones right, but dynamic range, that's its weakness. It's not very bad, but I would call it below average. And below average, in a nutshell, if you ask me to describe these cameras, I would say below average. Now, there are three cameras to the back. The primary is a 48 megapixel sensor that's paired with an f1.8 lens. The shots taken when the lights were good, they came out very well. Details, yes. Color balance, check. Even dynamic range is okay, no issues. There's a dedicated low light mode, but this low light performance is what for me drags the rating from above average to below. Now, images, they turned out a tad too noisy for my liking. There's also a little bit of shake that kept getting picked up way too often. Now, the other two sensors are macro and depth 2 megapixels, so no, I'm not really going to talk about them. Video maxes out at 1080p. There's an EIS option, but that means you're going to zoom in and crop and stabilize. So it comes at the cost of detail. The performance here, I would say it's very average. Now, you know what is not average with this phone? The battery life. The 5000 milliamp hour battery here lasts quite a long time. I'd rate this as excellent. Easily, I'd rate it excellent. On my normal days, regular days of use, I would easily end the day with over 30% left in the tank. And then there is an 18-watt charger included in the box. It takes over 2 hours to go from 0 to 100. Even 0 to 50 takes about 50 minutes. But these days, having a charger in the box, that seems to be a huge pro. So again, can't complain. Other sundries include decent output via the headphone jack, average speaker output, the support for FM radio, the cellular reception is good, so is the call quality, this carrier aggregation. Hello Samsung. And the build, I kinda went on a tangent from that. So coming back, it is a plastic build. Yes, it's nice in hand. There's a case included in the box. The in-one, it's not the sleekest phone out there, but you don't really feel it's thick or anything. To be precise, it's 9 millimeters thick, weighs in under 200 grams. So it's gonna be, you're gonna have to use it with both hands more often than not, but there are no major build or design compromises. For example, there's no wobbling or creaking. It feels solidly built. There's also dedicated micro SD support, which is a pro, so memory expansion, that's easy. Micromax has also included a non-reprogrammable Google Assistant key to the left. I'm not a fan of these. But hey, it's not prone to accidental presses, so it's fine, I guess. Now, the chip inside is the MediaTek Helio G80. We've seen this in action on other phones like the Redmi 9 Prime, but like I said earlier, the performance here is better, largely due to that clean Android interface. On Redmi, I kind of felt like the phone's being reluctant to perform, but it's being pushed to, while here, it feels like the phone wants to be used. Seriously? The phone wants to be used. Do you even think of shit before you write? Okay, other specs, they include 4 or 6 gigs of RAM to go along with 64 or 128 gigs of eMMC 5.1 storage, which is about par for the course for this segment. The G80, it's one of the better chips when it comes to gaming. It most definitely outperforms something like the Snapdragon 450 from the Samsung Galaxy M02s. The fact that Micromax has actually managed to put something in here that's on par with Chinese offerings, that's a big pro in my humble opinion. Initially, when Micromax announced their comeback, I thought this is just gonna lead to a lot of crappy phones, and Micromax are just trying to exploit the anti-Chinese sentiments. Because let's be honest, it's Micromax, right? What kind of a track record do they have? But with the in-one, I feel they've gone a long way towards changing my bias. Micromax has done well here. The fact that this phone is made in India, that's not the highlight as much as Micromax want to hype that up. Even if we strip that fact out, even if this phone was not made in India, it's still a good phone worth that 10,000 rupee asking price. The fact that it's made in India is just icing on the cake. This is one seriously good phone for the price. So, coming back to it, here's my regular breakdown, the conclusion. Built-in design, I'd rate it good. Display, again, good. Cameras, below average. Battery life, excellent. Charging is average. Performance, I'd rate it good. So basically, this is a decent offering. It's got clean Android free of bloat and ads. This clean Android free of bloat and ads, it's a niche that was once occupied by Moto, later Asus. They were very successful at it, but as of now, neither brand really seems to want to do this anymore. So Micromax, it seems like they're filling in a niche, and I guess they're going to be successful with it. So unless cameras are of utmost priority, in which case you're going to have to go up a price segment at least. But if cameras aren't of utmost priority for you, the In1 is a good choice, and that's basically what I have to say about it. So what do you guys think? Do you like this phone? Do you dislike it? Do you feel Micromax should have done something different? Leave a comment down below. And with that, we get to the end of this video. Thumbs up, thumbs down based on whatever you felt about it. Subscribe, turn on notifications by hitting that bell icon if you haven't yet. And thanks a lot for watching. Till next time, my name's Ash. You've been watching C4 Retech, and I'm signing off for now. You guys have a great day. Bye-bye.